Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this.
Now Murdoch up front, Manis shoots, scores! Sarah Manis! Down low, out front, Manis shoots, scores! Sarah Manis doubled him, and the Barracudas have a 2-1 lead. Manis shoots, save made, rebound, they score! Bryn Pryor buries the loose puck.
Manis to the net, scores! Bounces off a body to Kate Manis, she scores! Trying to cut to the net, Manis scores! Kate Manis tries to feather that through, and she just missed. Then Claire Murdoch scores off the back wall!
Here's Markakis, shoots, scores! Ellie Markakis, they rebound loose, scores! Kate Manis buries the rebound. Sarah in front of the net, shoots, scores!
And the Burlington Barracudas are the bronze medalists at the 2023 OWHA Provincials. In comes Christina Walker. Shooter, Walker scores! Moon walks the blue line, throws it on, rebound, they score!
Pryor, Murdoch, Manis, score!
Burlington Barracudas are the bronze medalists at the 2023 OWHA Provincials. At forward, number 8, Sarah Manis. At forward, number 9, Claire Murdoch. At forward, number 44, Bryn Pryor. On defense, number 20, Kate Manis. On defense, number 48, Mackenzie Allen. And in goal, wearing number 1, Sadie Davidson. And the rest of your Burlington Barracudas. And in goal, wearing number 1, Sadie.
Well, here we go, everybody. Welcome back to Scotiabank Pond. This is Rink 4 for the Battle of the QEW in the semifinal. This is semifinal 1, semifinal 2 going on across from us. It's Etobicoke and Barrie. We go at the same time to find out who will play for gold tomorrow. My name is Jared Bapty. Happy to be back alongside Jaden Ho. And, you know, the thing about this Burlington Barracudas squad in this tournament is they've faced arguably almost as much adversity as they did last weekend. Comeback victory after comeback victory, and now we're here in the semifinal.
Well, yeah, Jared, if you told me last night at about 8:15 p.m. or so that we would be here calling another game this evening, I would have been maybe a little bit surprised. But here we are, a big comeback win for the Barracudas in the final group stage game to get them to this point, and they get to take on the Stony Creek Sabres, who they've played 3 times this season, once last weekend at the U22 Elite Championships. A victory for Burlington that time, and they'll look to keep that up.
And at golden hour, we are underway, and Sarah Manis just missing the pass in front from Claire Murdoch as they start on the attack here for Burlington. Bryn Pryor tried to leave it behind the net for Sarah Manis, and Manis now bounces it to the line to her sister, who tries to settle it down. Rolling puck for Sarah Manis, and she got it in deep for Pryor again. Pryor pinned up along the back wall, and it comes right out in front for Manis again, and the first save of the game is made by Tara Bach.
Well, great first shift there for the Barracudas, and for Sarah Manis, she gets 2 grade A scoring opportunities. First on that early rush, the pass across from Claire Murdoch just out of her reach, and then there finds a puck in the slot and gets a good shot away. Bach was sliding to her right. Manis tried to go to the left, but the glove stop is made.
Well, Peakenhagen with a sharp angle shot there that was just blockered out. We'll call that a shot on net. TJ Flores trying to dig it out of the near side wall. Comes back to the line. Ellie Markakis shoveling it in front, and that's TJ Flores with a backhander that was lifted on net, and another cover-up by Bach.
Well, Charlotte Peakenhagen, who takes that sharp angle shot, trying to maybe fool Bach, had the biggest goal of the Barracuda season perhaps last night, the shot on the rush to get them back into the game as they trailed by 2.
Ali Markakis on that far side, trying to take the puck away, able to backhand it in, and the Barracudas start a change. This is Jayla Carter. Pass out through center, one touch, and on for Kaylee Tiller, who couldn't quite pull the trigger there. Stony Creek has to touch up, as it would have been offside on the clear. Callista's Song from behind her own net now. Banks it across for Kate Manis. Out into the middle now for Avery Holmes. And the Averys go to work with Murdoch. Dropping it back. Murdoch shot blocked. Rebound, another block. And Avery Holmes found it on that far side. Kate Manis now. Holmes again. Tried to one-touch it back to her. And it was out of her reach as Manis was backpedaling across the blue line. And it's all the way down into the Burlington zone where Sadie Davidson left it for Kate Manis. And the Barracudas are trying to evade the aggressive forecheck Kate Manis found on her pass. And so Song goes back, rips it up the near wall. Markakis meets it in neutral ice. Ahead now for Sarah Manis, leaves it for Brent Pryor. Tried to walk into a shot that it went wide. Goes into this near corner now. Carrying out to centers, Clea Hastings, dumping it in for Stony Creek. Markakis hooked up a little bit and slammed into the boards on her own as the Barracudas get it out to center, but it's right back in again by Stony Creek. Ella Humphrey trying to get away from the forecheck, and it's picked up again by Stony Creek. Sarah Manis has lost her stick, but nicely deflected away by Ella Humphrey, but not out. Humphrey's got it again up that far wall. Pryor knocked it down and rips it up through center and right for Murdoch, one-on-one. Murdoch, high slot, blocker save by Bach, and the rebound goes off this side of the net. And Murdoch's on it again behind the net. Flores trying to dig it out as well. Squeaks out to Flores. Now Peakenhagen flips it in deep again for Murdoch. Left it for Flores on that far side. Chard ties her up. Chard can't get it up that far wall. It comes out to the area in front of the net where Reese Kletke settles it down and now skates it out through center. Hard pass ahead for Erica Piotrowski, and the first shot of the game for Davidson is a save.
Well, the Barracudas doing a good job controlling play offensively there. Claire Murdoch out with TJ Flores and Charlotte Peakenhagen for that shift, and they got to work in the offensive zone. Peakenhagen and Flores so good working down in the corners and able to work it out for Murdoch.
Nice win off the draw for Flores. Markakis trying to tip it out to center. Peakenhagen after it. Rolling puck in center ice, and Kate Manis able to settle it down and skate it over the blue line. Manis with a long shot off the base of the post and wide. Peakenhagen behind the net. Left it for Markakis. Trying to find an outlet in front. Markakis back to the line. Mackenzie Allen to the far side. Skips over the stick blade of Kate Manis, but she rings it in deep. Avery Holmes bumped off the puck, but she regains control of it as she takes another hit from Carter. And Bryn Pryor comes in to help out in the near corner. Allen fires it cross ice to the open side. Peters finds it there, tries to work it to the front, but it skipped away from her. Up that far side now, Ella Humphrey trying to keep it in neutral ice, and a 2-on-1 now developing for Stony Creek. Shot, scores! That took a deflection in front. I think it went off the skate of Mercedes Chaffee. And on just their second shot of the game, Stony Creek takes a 1-0 lead.
Well, for Burlington, it's against the run of play. They've been dominating in the offensive zone, but it's a rush through center. Was going to be a 2-on-2. The puck kind of just rolling through the neutral zone. Ella Humphrey tries to step up and stop it, but the Sabres get by, and as you said, the shot hits a skate and ends up in the back of the net. And for the second straight game, the Barracudas find themselves trailing.
Lots of time left in this period, though. This is Tiller from her own zone. Deflected out through center. Humphrey quickly ahead now for Holmes and down the left wing side. Holmes trying to take it in deep. Peters there as well. Holmes has got it again. Peters trying to drag it away. Goes up that far wall. And Madison Burr pass across. And deflected ahead again. Burr going to the net, centering it in front. And it was Tiller, actually, who couldn't quite get her stick on it. Mercedes Chaffee off the boards, but can't skip it by Chelsea Tiller. And Ella Humphrey now. Trying to slow things down a little bit for Burlington, looking a little frantic after going down once again. Another pass doesn't connect. Off the skate of Murdoch, though. Poking at it was Pryor. Van Netten got it ahead now. Hastings. In on the right wing, sharp angle, shot, rebound, goes wide of the net. And Sarah Manis able to clear it up the far side, but it's held in. Sarah Manis on it again. Throws it around to the near side where no Barracudas are there, and so Ashlyn Carter met it there, and it's lifted up and into the netting and out of play.
Well, as you said, Jared, a bit of a frantic shift there for the Barracudas, trying to regain the momentum that they just lost. As we said, they've been in control of this game through the first few minutes, but now find themselves trailing, and it's just a matter of calming down. You know, they've got plenty of time and all the offensive talent you could want to get back into this game and take over.
Flores lifted off the draw, but she was able to win it anyways, and Ellie Markakis has it poked away from her. Trying to steal it back from Carter. And Chard couldn't drag it past Song, but a weak one glides on, and Davidson covers up again.
Well, again, just struggling in transition are the Barracudas, just unable to create the rush chances and offensive zone time that they were having in the first few minutes.
Peakenhagen shoveled that ahead, and it got past the Stony Creek defense, and it's fired all the way down the ice for an icing call, though.
This period is brought to you by BDO Canada. Start living debt-free with a free, no-obligation consultation from a BDO expert today.
Face off to the left of Bach. It's Sarah Manis with the Averys trying to win that draw. It's kicked back, goes into the feet of Peters, and it's swept away to the open side. Allen trying to stop it up. It's lifted high and back into neutral ice. Holmes left it for Allen, who tries to find Holmes again. It's chipped behind her, and it is an icing call against Burlington.
Well, as the Barracudas obviously been shuffling their lines this whole tournament, they get Sarah Manis out there with the Averys, and they've tried this look a few times, and they've looked good and have yet to see any offense from Peters and Holmes. Manis, of course, double shifting with the top line has been producing, but I think the Barracudas would like to see a little bit more secondary scoring in the last couple games of this tournament.
It was a clean face-off win, but they didn't get out of the zone, and that's just out of the reach of Peyton Anzavino, and back the other way for Burlington now. Peters scores! Avery Peters with a chip up into the corner over the shoulder of Bach, and the Barracudas have tied the game.
And right on cue, it's secondary scoring for the Barracudas. Avery Peters blows by the defender on the near side and rips it over the shoulder of Tara Bach and gets the Barracudas back on even terms with her first of the tournament.
I was talking with Avery Peters yesterday, seeing if she was going to get going in this tournament. She's a tournament performer herself, usually does well in places like Detroit and Pittsburgh, and there she is on the score sheet now, but it's Stony Creek right on the attack again. Drop pass, it's picked up by Brown, and in that far corner again, poked away by Song. Pryor up that far wall, reaching for it was Manis and muscling it out to center past Kletke. Rachel Brazeau dumped it in. Chaffee trying to turn away from Brown. Fires it up that far side. It just skips away from Pryor. And Stony Creek was able to hold it in, but it went off the stick of Chaffee and out of play.
Well, it's a good response shift from the Sabres as they try and restore their lead, working in the offensive zone once again. Doing a good job holding the line there. A couple of clearing attempts from the Barracudas that don't get out and leads to this offensive zone faceoff.
There's over 7 minutes left in this first period. Shot from the high slot from Brazeau goes wide. This is Markakis now turning and finding a breakout pass to Peakenhagen. Has to settle it down. That shot goes off a stick and wide. Flores quickly on it on that far side, leaving it in the far corner for Markakis, who sent it round to Peakenhagen. Peakenhagen has it knifed away from her, and she has to retreat back at center ice. Humphrey trying to catch the Sabres on a change, but Flores decides to make a change herself. And now Stony Creek tries to catch Burlington on a change. Pass in front is away from the lifted stick of Piotrowski. And Burlington now skating it out through center. Murdoch trying to fire a pass across. Peters in front, and another save made by Bach on the backhand from Peters. Holmes came in to help Kate Manis and takes it herself. Now hits Murdoch with a pass. Tied up on this near wall, and here goes Morrison now for Stony Creek. Dropping it back. Goes into the near corner again. Morrison fired it up this near side. TJ Flores digs it out for Burlington, and Callista Song throws it in front of the net. And Davidson, with two Sabres in the vicinity, decides to cover up and hang on.
Well, it's for Sadie Davidson, hasn't faced a ton of shots through the first few minutes of this game. That was 4 on the evening, and it's always tough to stay sharp. We mentioned it a couple of times throughout the tournament, and just making sure that she's getting touches throughout this game.
It's fired directly out of play by Chelsea Tiller, so that faceoff will come outside the Burlington zone with just under 5.5 minutes to go in this first period and a 1-1 score.
Top line out for Burlington, matched up against Dara Brown and her unit for the Sabres, and we'll see how this matchup plays out throughout the night. If Brown can find a way to shut down Murdoch and Manis and Pryor.
Puck actually almost went off our photographer and videographer, Abby Papineau's on the bench, as that goes all the way down the ice, and icing waved off as I guess Murdoch beat it out. I don't know. I didn't think she had the step, but the linesperson thought otherwise.
Yeah, it might have been a...
Bryn Pryor reaching forward as Stony Creek took it right back out into their own zone. Stapled on the back wall, but it's up the near side now. Murdoch from Manis. Murdoch going to the far side, dropping it for Kate Manis. And she's badgered by Ashlyn Carter, but she was able to find Markakis. Now Humphrey, long shot. Murdoch's stick was checked. Far side, Manis now in deep. Rung up the near side wall by Stony Creek. Humphrey able to keep it in. Just for a moment, though, as it's dug out and sent down the ice by Hastings. Not enough for an icing call as Peakenhagen tried to drag that out, but she was definitely within reach of it. And Burlington is trying to get in deep now. taken away and fired out and down the ice. Azavino tried to throw it in front, and it was out of the reach of Burr. It was almost a 2-on-0 for Stony Creek. Markakis back the other way, rubbed out on the far side. Flores went after it, but it was sent round back of the net, and Van Netten fires it out through center. Couldn't be handled by Tiller, and Markakis dumped it in again and goes off for a change. Burr into the middle for Tiller. That one's thrown all the way down the end of the ice and on net, and we'll call that a shot as Davidson had to direct it to the far wall. Peters now muscles it into the offensive zone and just tried to hit Holmes with a pass, but Carly Sardine blocked it. Out in neutral ice. Battle for it at the Burlington blue line, and Holmes lifts it up and out to center off the boards. Cross ice for Carson McManus, and she dumps it in. Davidson out to play it, sends it behind the net for Song into the near corner. Sends it up that near wall. Deflected out and down the ice, and an icing call against Burlington.
So again, Burlington has to come all the way back to their own end and won't be able to get fresh troops out as they have Pryor out there now with Holmes and Peters. So again, continuing to see the line shuffling for Burlington in this one.
Holmes with a nice win off the draw, and Allen bounces it off the boards and out to center. Griffiths throws it right back in, and that's another one that we'll have to call a shot as Davidson again needing to direct that to the far wall. Allen ahead for Holmes, and now Pryor trying to find an outlet. Burlington is changing. Finds Allen, but it goes off her skates. Got ahead for Markakis, though, who dumps it in. Sarah Manis out of her reach. Murdoch tried to kick it but missed, but Manis took it away in front for Murdoch, and it's poked away from her by Griffiths. And it's picked up and fired all the way down the ice by Chelsea Tiller for an icing call against Stony Creek.
So icing the other way now, and Burlington immediately gets Bryn Pryor out there to fill out this top line, try and take advantage of maybe some tired legs for Stony Creek, and Manis almost setting up Murdoch, who is in front of the net. Just there, the late poke check might have saved a goal for Stony Creek.
And you can hear it's either Charlotte Peakenhagen or TJ Flores on the bench trying to get her teammates going. Here we go, White, as this top line works now. Back to the line. Chaffee rips that one back in deep. I think it went off a stanchion, though, but Manis holds it in. Manis in front for Sarah. Didn't get all of it, and it went to the near corner. Pryor muscle it away. Sent to the line again for Kate Manis. Sarah Manis far side, and just behind Mercedes Chaffee as she was headed to the front of the net.
Well, once again, the blue liners activating for Burlington, trying to get in offensively. Sarah Manis sees it and tries to make the setup. The pass just a little bit too far behind.
Griffiths coughs it up in neutral ice, and it's Markakis now. Long shot blocked away by Bach. Had Flores going to the net as well. Markakis again, blocked away a second time by Bach as Flores goes after it in that far corner. Ripped around the near side by Brown. And Griffiths now just sends it all the way down the ice, and it will unfortunately go on net, so no icing. And another shot as Chaffee is upended, or Humphrey, behind the net. Allen trying to muscle it out. Humphreys on it again, up that far side now. Markakis reached for it, going all the way down the ice. Peakenhagen racing for it. Van Netten just got there in time for Stony Creek as we have entered the final minute of this first period. Puck bounced out through center and on net again, and Davidson thought about covering it, but Chaffee was right there and quickly wrapped it up and out to center again. Holmes trying to steal it away. This is Carter. Ahead for Burr, who deflects it into the Burlington zone. Not quite icing, though. Peters round to the near side for Song. Back in deep again for Chaffee, who has to wait for it to settle. Lifts it out to center. Manis. Maybe one last rush for the Burlington Barracudas. Manis lanced away from her. Back the other way is Burr with Peters all over her. Knocked away from her. Holmes, less than 10 to go. Shovels it down in deep and heads off for change, and I think the Sabres will just hold it behind their own net as the buzzer sounds for the end of the first period. It is a 1-1 score. Avery Peters, the equalizer for Burlington.
Well, back and forth first period there. Plenty of momentum swings. Both teams getting chances to work in the offensive zone, getting good opportunities on the rush as well. It's Avery Peters, as you said, with a wicked shot to get them back to even terms. But I think Burlington wants to generate a little bit more offensive pressure in this second period, try and take control of this game.
And we'll take a short break as we have a timeout before we head to the second period.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Allen.
I'm Mercedes Chaffee.
My name's Lauren Mooney.
I'm Sadie Davidson.
My name is TJ.
My name's Caitlin.
And this is Items Before the 2000s.
Yes.
That's the
Home Alone.
Yeah, poster for Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home Alone.
I've seen these on like movies.
Same, but I don't know what they're called. Okay.
It's like you like play with them, you like keep them alive.
Like a little game, toy, but I don't know what it's called.
It's like a tea.
A
Yeah, you have it. Tamagotchi? Tom something?
Second period on the way. TJ Flores leading the chant for the Burlington Barracudas. And you, Jaden, you and our camera guy were debating who has the better pads, because both these goalies have some sweet setups, don't they?
Well, absolutely, Jared. I mean, the jagged lines on both of them, fantastic. Looks like they're both Brian's setups that they're wearing. Sadie Davidson, in my opinion, the superior set.
It's hard not to be biased, isn't it?
In the Barracudas orange and blue, but
goes off a stanchion and rolls out in front as I think it was Bryn Pryor trying to reach for it. It's lifted off the glass and down the ice, and Kate Manis had to race after it. Two Sabres on the forecheck. Allen trying to muscle it up that far side. Murdoch came in to help, trying to fight off a hook and just gets it out to center. Quickly back on the attack, but it was into the feet of Tiller, and so Burlington trying to get it back out to center again. Tiller got it in deep once more. This is Allen on it as the Sabres make a change. Allen out through center, nicely to Murdoch, who turns and picks it up. Murdoch with Pryor right behind her. Takes it into that near corner, rubbed out, and a crowd gathers as Pryor tries to pin it that near corner. Flipped off the boards by Sardine and skated out to center. Brown fought off the puck by Chaffee. Goes behind the net. All three Sabres are there. Pryor comes in to help. Chaffee has it poked away from her. And it comes to Humphrey, who sends it away from danger. Murdoch able to poke it out to center, and a 2-on-1 now for Burlington. It's Manis trying to find an outlet, and it's stopped by the blocking arm again of Bach, and it squeaked out in front where Bach covers up.
well, a 2-on-1 rush developing there for the Barracudas as Pryor jumped in with Sarah Manis, but just good defensive play to cut off the pass. Sarah Manis tried to outweigh the defender, couldn't find a lane, was forced to shoot from an angle that was not ideal, and that allows Bach to make a relatively simple stop.
Fired in deep for Peakenhagen. Sending it in front, but it's cut off by Aubrey Morrison, but held in by Song. Peakenhagen battling with McManus behind the net. Now Flores came in as well. Song at the line. Found Flores, knocked away from her, but Markakis now rolling puck off a stick, and it went just wide. Peakenhagen banks it behind the net. Flores, bouncing around in front again. Another stop made by Bach, and the Sabres are able to clear it out to center again.
Well, miscommunication there between Kalista Song and Charlotte Peakenhagen. Both of them thought the other was going to get it. That allows it clear.
Manis with a rising shot and a high stick by Flores would have negated a goal there and negates a shot for Burlington as well, but Bach held on to it anyways.
It would have been a shame if that goal, or if that had went in, as would not have counted him. Some great hand-eye from TJ Flores on that puck that flipped up right in front of the net.
Face-off won by the Sabres. Sent around back in the net to Kletke. And knocked down to the blue line by Murdoch and onside. Murdoch down into the far corner. Tripped up a little bit, perhaps. And no call coming. Peters and Holmes came in to help as well, but it squeaks out to Anzavino and across for Burr now. 1-on-4, rising shot. Just blocked it away, and the rebound bounces to Anzavino again, and 2 quick shots for Stony Creek. And it's cleared out to center, right back in again as the Sabres touch up. Humphrey waits for it to get to her and fires a quick pass for Holmes, who banks it ahead for Peakenhagen. And bodies flying everywhere as it's dug out from Peakenhagen, and a shot blockered away by Davidson as the Sabres get a little bit going offensively, as that's cut off by Hastings, and that is offside, as Hastings did not wait out Brown to clear the zone.
Well, Hastings felt like she waited an eternity in the neutral zone there before entering the zone, and seems like she thought it too. She was not happy with that icing call, but nonetheless, we're up to center for the draw.
Carter dropped it back, banked ahead, rolling puck. Brown trying to find it for Stony Creek. Song and Manis as well, rolls to the area behind the net. Chaffee's taken down as it's fired up that far side, but not out. Sarah Manis, Brown's shot blocked away. Mercedes Chaffee, that's off a stanchion again. It got to Pryor, who tries to bank it ahead for Murdoch, but it's cut off. Sarah Manis stole it back for Burlington. Takes the slash and dumps it in and goes after it. Van Netten is on it. Send it to Carter. Carter's pass gets by Pryor, but it was cut off by Kate Manis, and now Peakenhagen drops it back for Allen in her own zone. Allen's pass cut off by Chard, and Peakenhagen had Carter all over her as the Sabres send it all the way down the ice for an icing call.
This period is brought to you by J-Man Farms, a southern Manitoba grain farm helping to feed the world.
And,
So they're going to
yes,
reverse this
correction
icing.
on that. Icing reversed.
I think it hit someone in the neutral zone. Either it hit a Barracuda or it went off a Sabre who was past the center ice line, but either way, center ice face-off.
And a win off the draw by Flores. It was maybe a little too clean, and a turnover in that far corner. But Allen recovers, and Peakenhagen now skates it out to center. Charlotte Peakenhagen with Markakis. Goes just out of her reach, but Markakis catches up to it and chips it in deep for Peakenhagen. At the line, Chaffee across for Humphrey. Banks it off the back wall, and it's taken by Chelsea Tiller and fired to the line. Humphrey tried a shot that she fanned on, and Flores has it knocked away from her. Skated out and down the ice by Chard. Shot blocked by Humphrey, and the rebound goes wide. Peakenhagen couldn't poke at it and get it out. Brazeau has it stripped from her by Peakenhagen, though, and Markakis now with it. Back over to Peakenhagen, and a blocker save by Bach. And that blocker has looked good so far tonight. This is Holmes now behind the net. Up the far wall for Pryor, trying to throw it towards the slot. Bounced away from Peters, but she's on it. Sends it behind the net. Up that far wall by Stony Creek, and it just skips by Song and out to center. Pryor fires it right back down in deep. Kletke couldn't clear it out. Peters spinning and sending it in front, but it was behind Holmes. And Sardine is back the other way with Stony Creek. Sardine can't step away from Song. Goes into that far corner. Holmes tying up her opponent. Dug out by Anzavino, and that shot goes off the side of the net and wide. Song wrapped it round to the far side for Pryor. Pryor watched by Burr. Taken into the boards by Burr, but wrapped it round to the near side and out to center. Right back in again by Stony Creek. And Song met it. Banked it behind her own net and returned to her by Kate Manis. Flips it out to center. knocked down by Holmes and just onside as Markakis held on the bench to keep it going. Holmes bumped off the puck and she went into the boards head first and held her head, and she's going off to the bench slowly as McManus gets it out to center. Chard knocked off the puck by Sarah Manis, and she's got it now. Across for Murdoch, and she's knocked off the puck as well. And it's back out to center again. Humphrey, cross-ice pass is deflected by Anzavino, but ahead by Allen. Out of the reach of Murdoch, leaning for it. Allen off the skate, and in deep again. Carter's got it. Trying to turn away from pressure. Fires it up and all the way down the ice. No icing, though, on that one for some reason. Humphrey up ahead now for Flores as Peakenhagen let it go. Flores waited for help. Now Pryor. High slot. Peakenhagen stopped by Bach, and the rebound goes behind the net. Lifted to the line and bounces out. Chaffee trying to turn and dump it in again, and she does. Bach out to play it for Carter as Burlington tries to complete a change. Bounced ahead, and it got by Chaffee and down the ice. Centering pass off the skate of Song and in front. Flores lifted the stick of Brown. Pass rejected at the Stony Creek blue line, but Chaffee's on it, rubbed out. Chaffee still trying to go after it. It goes in deep. Peters has it. It's taken away from her by Griffiths. In this near corner, Tiller returned to her by Griffiths. Holmes on the forecheck for Burlington. Tiller trying to find an outlet. It's Sardine now. Over to the open side. Peters met it there, but it's poked ahead of her. Sardine now. Away from her, and Brazeau followed up. Holmes all over her. Far corner, bounced up that far wall, and Markakis tried to get it out. Glove down at the line. Rolling puck in front of the bench. And it's dug out by Markakis. Peters couldn't corral the pass. Back the other way is Sardine. Long shot, blocker to the back wall by Davidson. Brown tried to have the pass returned to her by Sardine. Didn't have her stick on the ice. Fired off the body of Brazeau, and Stony Creek has to touch up, but Brazeau blocked the pass from Murdoch. It's Chard now, trying to drive the net. Scores! Brazeau found some daylight under the arm of Davidson, and Stony Creek takes the lead.
Yeah, Sadie Davidson's going to want that one back as coming up on the far side was Chard, and it's a backhander from a sharp angle. Davidson thought she had that post sealed off. A little bit of daylight, and this is a quick pull. Lauren Mooney's coming in.
Davidson is out. Lauren Mooney taking over the net now.
Mooney, who started in the win for the Barracudas last night, and in an elimination game like this one, it's a short rope for any goaltender, and no different in Sadie Davidson.
Well, we saw last weekend as well. Mooney got the yank in the game against the Barrie Sharks, and now it goes the other way. Well, you got to ride the hot goaltender, and Mooney has been strong this tournament as Murdoch is dumped by McManus as she tipped the puck in. Puck skips away from McManus. It's Pryor now, stolen away from her and sent out to center. Song fanned on her pass. Quickly chips it ahead, but it's taken away again by Stony Creek, and that should be offside, but it's not. Centering pass by Carter goes wide. Peakenhagen trying to muscle it ahead. Left it for Flores, who turns away as Peakenhagen was in the offensive zone. Song for Kate Manis. Stopped at the blue line by Anzavino. His shot goes just wide as Mooney was almost tested early. Tiller over to the far side for Griffiths. Puck rolling, and it's sent down the ice by Flores. Flores disrupted the breakout. Markakis trying to come up with it. Goes behind the net. Griffiths up that far side. And Zavino out into the middle, and Chard couldn't get it over the blue line. That's fired into the body of Adzavino. And it's fired across for Markakis. Markakis can't get around Tiller. Now into the middle. It bounced behind Allen as the Barracudas complete a change. Sarah Manis on the forecheck. Chelsea Tiller stops up behind her own net. Over to the far side, Griffiths fires a pass across. Peters trying to disrupt that play, but it's Morrison. High slot, stopped by Mooney and kicked out. The rebound. It goes to the near wall. Kletke, shot blocked by Peters, and she chips it out to center. Kletke sends it back the other way, but Manis knocked it down. Sarah Manis trying to cut to the net, dragging it through, and Peters and Holmes hadn't quite caught up to her yet. Sabres pass almost cut off by Humphrey, but it skipped away from her. Piotrowski now in front, save made by Mooney. Sarah Manis on the puck in the near corner, tried to throw it up the wall. Goes in deep again. Chaffee in that far corner. Sent it behind the net for Humphrey. Up the near side for Peters. Passes behind Murdoch, and Brazeau trying to settle it down, and Murdoch took it away. And Flores tried to hop back up onto the bench to prevent an offside to no avail.
Well, since that Sabres goal, it feels like Stony Creek has all sorts of momentum. Burlington hasn't really had a lot of offensive zone possession. They've had a couple of rush chances that Sarah Manis dash best of them, but haven't been able to work the puck around in the offensive zone like they're used to.
Kate Manis fired it in deep. Song trying to pinch in and keep it alive. It's wrapped up and out to center. Pryor's back for it. Quickly across, knocked down by Carter, and ahead again for Stony Creek. Brown, long shot floated on, and Mooney stopped it and held.
So just over 2 minutes left in the second period. Burlington again finds themselves trailing, and for the second night in a row, we're asking who's going to be a hero for the Barracudas. Last night it was Charlotte Peakenhagen and then Bryn Pryor. They need someone else to step up here.
Long shot, that's actually just sent into the near corner where Kate Manis picks it up. Sent up the near side, Sarah Manis. Pass bounces in neutral ice, and that is Sarah Manis actually. The pass was from Pryor as Murdoch pins on the puck, and it's fired down the ice. No icing call on that. Kate Manis up the near wall. Pryor banks it off the boards, tried to hit Murdoch again with that pass, and it didn't connect. Pryor battling for it, it's dumped in again by Burr. Song tried to leave it behind the net, but Anzavino lost her stick, and Anzavino's now just sitting on the puck as Song tries to dig it out. And yeah, that is going to be a face-off outside the Burlington zone.
Well, it's a good hustle play from Anzavino. She lost her stick and then tried to kick it out to the front of that. That didn't work, so she tries to just hang on to possession behind the net, but the official will not let that go on for too long, and it's out to center.
Minute 20 left in this second period. Kletke on the receipt of the pass and in. Blockered away by Mooney. Fought off nicely on that rising shot. Burr kept it alive for Stony Creek. Humphrey racing into that far corner. Peakenhagen couldn't play the puck. Comes to the line, shot deflected high, and that'll be a high stick by Chard if she plays it, and she does. So no shot on goal from the high stick deflection, and it is outside the zone now with less than a minute to go in this second period.
Well, it feels like the Barracudas are kind of rushing their plays a little bit. They're not using all the time that they have, and it's led to some of these missed passes, like the one that led to that long chance.
Flores on side, and the pass doesn't connect again. Just as you were mentioning, Jaden, these Barracudas are having a hard time getting offenses. That was close to being offside as well. Pass off the skate of Humphrey. Peakenhagen met it now. 30 seconds to go into the middle for Markakis. Peakenhagen going to the net, and that's blockered up over top of the net by Bach and skated out to center now. Aubrey Morrison dropped it for Chard. Deflected to the area behind the net by Mooney. Final 10 in this second period. At the line again. Poked away by Peakenhagen, but not outside. Carter's still got a shot blocked by Flores. Peakenhagen just fires it up for Peters. And that does it for the second period. Just 6 shots in that period for Burlington. Meanwhile, 10 for Stony Creek as they hold a 2-1 lead going into the intermission.
And for Burlington, they're going to need more shots than that to beat Tara Bach, who's been excellent in this game. Had some, as you mentioned, some great blocker stops. That late one on Ellie Markakis standing out as well. And so Burlington needs to get more pucks to the net. They need to get a little more crisp with their passes once more. And once again, they've got 20 minutes to save their season.
Well, Burlington's done it before. We'll see if they can do it again. Down a goal with 20 minutes left to go. We'll be back for the third period after the Zamboni cleans the ice.
Weird guessing.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah.
we're guessing items
Okay,
from
yeah.
before the 200.
Wow, that's long.
Yeah, that is.
Not 200.
I'm Sarah Manis.
And I'm Kate Manis.
I'm Claire Murdoch,
I'm Bryn Pryor.
and we're guessing items from before the 2000s. Oh, that's so good. Well, it's gotta be like.
What are his pants called?
It's gotta be snow pants.
They look like the pants that referees wear. I don't know what they're called. Okay, we gotta come up with something.
I feel like snow pants.
Sure, let's go with snow pants.
Oh, track pants. No, they're not.
Pants, hockey pants.
No,
Track.
they're like ringette pants. You know?
We have to show the camera. Okay, that's die.
He does.
It's okay.
He has a good number though.
Okay, besides the fact, the pants. Track pants?
Yeah.
Track pants. Track pants. Final
Yeah.
guess. Track pants.
I would have
Okay,
gotten
then.
that.
What? You know what that is?
Yep.
I've never heard that in my life.
I'm kidding. I don't know.
Isn't that called like a landline? No,
It's because of telephone.
Wait, no, it's like a, what's it called? Not landline, but like,
It's just a,
landline. No.
what is it
Telephone.
called?
It's a telephone.
Just a telephone. Okay?
Yeah.
Landline key. I swear, honey. I'm old, so
You
like,
are.
Wait, maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. I had the one
Like
where
a
you
toy,
draw.
like a game. Yeah, I had that too. And you like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
race
yeah,
and you crank them. Yeah.
Can you guess?
It's like an old like a DS.
I think it's like a game that like the guy like might like fall.
Yeah.
And you have to like push the button.
And he falls.
You have to like make him like stay up.
Floating man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should be called that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Old floating game.
That's a Tamagotchi.
A what?
What?
A Tamagotchi.
It's headphones.
Just headphones, like stereo. Yeah. CD headphones.
I don't know. Yeah.
Headphones.
Let's go with headphones.
You're looking for Walkman.
Walkman? Would have never got that.
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby as a child.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I
let's
don't
hear.
guess.
Yeah, let's hear yours.
Well, I don't know. It looks like a kid on the side of the street. Someone we know.
Is it Colin? No.
No.
No, Colin.
Is
Like
it Kevin? He has dark hair.
maybe. Yeah.
It's Kevin.
Kevin. Correct.
Greco.
Oh, never mind. Jared. No.
Who do we know?
Someone we know. Like someone we know personally?
Like from the rank? Like in this organization.
Oh.
Who looks like that?
Abdul! It's Abdul! Oh my God. That was good.
Thank you for watching.
This was Items Before the 2000s.
This period is brought to you by Canadian Cutting and Coring, serving the needs of the concrete drilling and sawing industry since 1964.
Here we go, everybody. The third period about to get underway. 20 minutes on the clock, and for Burlington, a small mountain to climb, but still work to do. Perhaps less work than they've had to do in the past, but all the more important right now.
Well, yeah, Burlington finds themselves trailing going into the third period once again, and they know that they're capable of pulling off a late comeback. They've been really good in the third period in this tournament. Obviously, last night stands out in their 3-goal comeback against the Central York Panthers. They just need one to send this to overtime, and they've got 20 minutes to do it and save their season.
Well, I would certainly say that Stony Creek is probably the best team they've had to mount a comeback against in the last few games. And it's tied up behind the net in the Stony Creek zone. Comes over to the near corner. Manis racing after it. Wrapped up by Van Netten. Sent around back of the net. Kletke up the far side. Kate Manis tried to keep it in that zone, and Bryn Pryor now trying to muscle it up that far side with Kate Manis. Now Sarah Manis over to Peakenhagen. Peakenhagen dumping it in past Van Netten. Peakenhagen slams on the brakes on that near side in front, and it just went by Flores as Markakis found it at the far point. Sending it in deep for Flores again. Round to the near side for Peakenhagen. Flores again now back of the net. Bounces out in front, and it just skipped away from Peakenhagen as the Sabres get it out to center. Sardine stripped of the puck by Chaffee. Quickly the other way into the feet of Flores. Dropped it for Peakenhagen now. Long shot deflected on its way, and a save made by Bach. Markakis back to the line. Humphrey out of the reach of Flores. Carter off the boards and up the near side, and Brazeau gets it out to center. Cross-ice pass for Burr out of her reach. Chaffee back out to center. Markakis couldn't catch up to it. Now it's Carter on the near side. Steps around Peakenhagen and into the near corner. Carter still on it. Brown trying to take it away from Chaffee up that far side. Now Markakis all the way out and down the ice for an icing call.
Well, some chances early for the Barracudas in the offensive zone as this Peakenhagen-Flores-Markakis line gets to work a little bit offensively, but I think Burlington just needs to shoot the puck a little more. They've had some open lanes and have been trying to get that extra pass in, and when you're facing a hot goalie, you just need to try and get shots on net, get bodies to the front. And they haven't been able to do that in this game yet.
Humphrey up for Holmes, who's muscled off the puck, and now it's Tiller trying to dance away from Chaffee into the near corner. Holmes trying to grind it up that near side wall. Griffith's shot goes wide. This is now Chelsea Tiller down in deep. Anzavino has her stick lifted, and it passes into the feet of Peters, who received it nicely and flips it up and out of play out at center.
Well, and for Burlington, it's notable to remember that when they last played Stony Creek last weekend at the the U22 championships, they did fall behind in that game, had to mount a comeback, had more time than they do tonight to do it, but something for them to remember and try and build some confidence.
Another let's go white from the Burlington bench as Bryn Pryor knocks that pass down and received it from Kate Manis. Now Sarah just missed the net on that far side. Knocked down in the slot, rolling puck. Kate Manis trying to knock it down. Sarah Manis took a high stick, and she's got it. Tried to center it in front, and Van Netten stepped on the puck, and Pryor's got it on that far side now. Left it for Kate Manis, who gave it away. This is Kletke now into the middle for Morrison. Knifed away from her by Pryor. And ahead for Sarah Manis down the left wing. Across for Murdoch. High slot. Feathered it on. Rebound. 2 stops made by Bach. And she hangs on.
Well, in the game last weekend between these two teams, when the Barracudas fell behind, it was Sarah Manis who put the team on her back, potted a couple to turn the game around, and she generates some more offense here, working the puck around offensively, getting that shot, and then Claire Murdoch here getting a chance in the slot and then finding her own rebound as well, but Bach still solid in net.
Face-off win by Stony Creek, and they get it out to center, but a mishandle of the puck by Burr, but Humphrey gave it away, and it's just offside at the Burlington blue line.
That was a very close call on the offside. Burlington maybe catching a little bit of a break at the blue line, as that could have been a good chance for the Sabres on that rush.
Flores with a face-off win at her own blue line, and Allen weaves her way through center. Allen trying to drop it back, goes off a stick, but Kate Manis gloved it down, threw it on, and it was stopped on its way there. Manis bounced over her stick, and the Barracudas have to touch up. This is Carter now, given lots of space to skate out through center, dumped it in, and Kate Manis stopped it there, and Markakis on the rolling puck lifted it up into the bench. And the faceoff is going to be inside the Burlington zone.
Yeah, and Markakis had Peakenhagen streaking on the near side. Peakenhagen called for it, but Markakis just trying to get the clear up the boards. Instead, it's a little bit too much on it, and Burlington forced to defend.
Off the draw, goes to the area behind the net. Chaffee wrapped up the near side wall. Into the middle, pass was behind Pryor and Manis from Murdoch, but Pryor dug it out. Couldn't hit Manis with it. Tipped ahead by Brazeau, and Burlington now out of the reach of Peakenhagen. Goes all the way down the ice, but it went off a stick. Out of the reach of Manis, actually. Murdoch causing a turnover, trying to send it in front for Manis, but her stick was checked. Murdoch rubbed out, and Pryor came in to help. Pryor has two Stony Creek Sabres on her, and she's taken to the ice. I don't think we've had a single penalty called in this game so far.
Oh, you're right, Jared. The official is putting the whistles away and letting them play, which is what they sometimes are like to do for playoff hockey. And trying. Oh, that's a weird foul.
That took a bounce off the Zamboni doors, and Song able to block that play to the front of the net. And otherwise, Anzavino would have had a wide open shot at the net. Peakenhagen trying to step away from Anzavino now. Pass out of the reach of Holmes. Peters skating after it. Comes into the area in front of us. And it's across now for Burr. Lanced away from her by Allen, and she picks it up. Out of the reach of Peakenhagen, though. Passes are not connecting still for Burlington. Puck goes by Mooney. Song across for Allen, and now into the middle for Holmes. That one connects, and Holmes ahead for Peters now. Peters battling with Carter. And Carter and Peters go down in a heap behind the net. And it's picked up by Chard and out to center. 2-on-1 now for Stony Creek in front. They score! Lauren Mooney got most of that one, but not all of it. And Stony Creek has taken a 3-1 lead.
Well, on that 2-on-1 rush, Kate Manis was back defending, tried to get down to one knee, get the stick down, but just a little bit too early allows the pass to get behind her, and the quick shot gets past Mooney, and now the mountain for the Barracudas to climb gets a little bit steeper.
And Stony Creek thrown out of the face-off on a late change, but a clean win anyways by Piotrowski. It's right in the Burlington zone again. Kate Manis up that far side. Pryor hits Murdoch now with a lead pass. Murdoch drops it for Pryor. Shot goes just wide. I think Bach got a piece of that with the blocker. Allen at the line. Shot through. Stopped. Rebound. In front. They score! Britt Pryor on the short side of the net with beautiful puck control from Sarah Manis to find that open lane, and Burlington has life again.
That was a wonderful move from Sarah Manis. She finds that loose puck, drags it to the backhand, and attracts all the attention. Everyone's looking at number 8, and no one sees number 44 on the back door. She had all of that net to look at, and plenty of time to shoot as well. Bryn Pryor's not going to miss those much.
Mackenzie Allen ahead, into the middle now for Pryor. From Manis, Murdoch on it now on that far side. Pinned up on the boards. Brown has it stolen away from her by Pryor. Now Manis to the net. Just missed. Murdoch trying to dig it out. Goes behind the net. This is Kletke. Dangerous pass as Brown had to knock that down. Kletke's got it again. Ahead for Brown. And bounced ahead and down the ice for an icing call. We all held on for a second to see if that was going to be icing or not.
Felt like a little bit delayed, maybe a half a second again, and we're all on the edge of our seats in this one as now Burlington gets a chance to go to work offensively, try and tie this game up, and it's the Flores line that gets out.
Oh, and almost intercepted by Peakenhagen. Chaffee racing in to keep it alive. Chaffee down into the near corner, throws it in front, taken away by the paddle of Bach. Peakenhagen fanned on his shot, second attempt blocked by Brazeau, and Sardine now out to center it in. Mooney left it behind the net. This is Chaffee now, who has looked speedy so far tonight. Chaffee turning away from Kayleigh Tiller. Humphrey with a nice pass ahead for Peakenhagen, and she just overskated the puck. Markakis has her stick lifted as she was ready to one-time that puck in the high slot. And Burrs back the other way for Stoney now. Tiller as the Barracudas defenders collide and they score. Confusion in front as Kate Manis and Song came together on the defense, and Mooney scrambling. Stoney able to shovel it in, and they've regained a 2-goal lead.
Well, it's just chaos in the Burlington end, and it's that cut as the Sabres enter the zone that gets the Barracudas out of sorts. Kate Manis and Callista Song getting mixed up. They're not a defense pair that plays together often, and some miscommunication and ends up in the back of the net. And now Burlington once again mounting decline.
Avery Holmes is dumped behind into the near corner, and no call going to be made on that one. And Holmes is on the puck again. Sent it back to Allen. Allen with a long shot, trying to find its way through. High slot, glove down at the line now by Kate Manis. Intercepted pass, tried to hit Sarah Manis with it, and it's ahead now for Ann Zavino. Holmes tried to take it away from her as she dumped it in. Kate Manis banks it ahead for Markakis. Poked away from her by Van Netten. Allen now out through center and dumps it in. Murdoch going after it as the top line comes out for Burlington again. Deflected in deep by Morrison. Song trying to find a pass. It goes up this near side. Pryor racing after it, just out of her reach as Chard got there. Manis stepping away from Poitiers. Just on side, but Holmes had to slam on the brakes to stay on side, and the pass didn't connect. Piotrowski kept it alive. Centering pass rolls through the slot, and Kate Manis knocked it away. Up now for Peakenhagen. 4 forwards out there for Burlington. As no, it's Kate Manis in front, and Sarah Manis swatting at it, but Bach found it and covered up.
Well, Pryor and Peakenhagen going to work there. Peakenhagen using that speed through the neutral zone to try and create some chaos as she wraps around behind the goal and tries to get it.
I don't think we're going to see a single penalty in this game. Just over 7.5 minutes to go. Nicely received at the blue line by Pryor, and now it's Murdoch. Taken round back of the net. Centering pass, Manis, shot blocked. Comes to Allen, side of the net. Stopped by Bach. Far side now. Kate Manis blocking that clearing attempt. Back to Sarah Manis. Over to Kate again. Tries to throw it in front as she's dumped on that far side. Allen behind the net for Murdoch now. Throws it in front and it goes right through the blue paint. And it's cleared out and down the ice by Ann Zavino, and she goes after it against Kate Manis. Manis trying to break out. Ann Zavino trying to take it away. And she does and flips it in deep again. Brown after it against Allen. Trying to muscle each other off the puck. Glove down by Kate Manis and kick to the near side. Flores ahead for Peakenhagen. Peakenhagen gives it off to Markakis. Trying to find a lane. Stopped on goal by Bach. As we have 6.5 minutes left now. This is Brown out through center. Watched by Markakis into the middle. Rolls on Sardine and goes into the far corner. Found there by Song. Thrown up the near side wall. Tipped ahead by Peakenhagen. And the puck rolls to the Burlington blue line where Chaffee fires it across for Flores. Bounced across back to Peakenhagen. Peakenhagen's bowled over as she tried to protect the puck. And Sarah Manis took it away. Manis with a little bit of space. Has it just poked away, but she scores! Roofs it over the right shoulder of Bach. And Burlington is back within one again.
What a goal. Sarah Manis fights through into the offensive zone, beats the defender up the near side, and finds just the tiniest sliver of daylight past the blocker arm of Tara Bach. And as you said, Jared, 1-goal game once more.
Just under 6 minutes left to play in this third period. Top line out again for Burlington, and they've won the draw. Chaffee for Allen. Turning away as Chard is on the forecheck for Stony Creek. Banked ahead, but not onto the stick of Pryor, and Tiller has to turn away. She gave it off to Carter now. Pass knocked down by Manis, picked up by Pryor. Left for Manis, and just offside as Manis tried to return it to Pryor. It was Murdoch that was just ahead.
This period is brought to you by Canadian Cutting and Coring, serving the needs of the concrete drilling and sawing industry since 1964.
Song had to be quick with it as she was being checked at her own blue line, and she's got it again, just lifting it out to center. Rolling puck, fired back down by Tiller. Kate Manis racing after it as Piotrowski was on her. Up the near side. This is Holmes. It's away from her, and Tiller fires it back in deep again. Song sent it behind the net for Kate Manis. Fired ahead for Peters now with Flores and Avery Holmes. Near side, Avery Holmes with a shot. That's stopped by Bach, and she hangs on. Just under 5 to go now in this 1-goal game, and the top line is right back out there for Burlington.
And I think you'll see a lot of these three the rest of the way here as Burlington tries to tie the game. They have supplied almost all of the offense for the Barracudas in this tournament.
Pryor quickly back to Allen. Now Murdoch with a long shot. Doesn't get through. Kate Manis trying to keep it alive with Bryn Pryor, and she does. Pryor in that far corner to Manis. Rolling puck out in the slot. Scores! Kate Manis found it in the slot, and she's tied the game for Burlington.
And Kate Manis coming up huge in the clutch for Burlington once again. She did it last weekend. First time on the board this weekend, and it's in the biggest moment possible. Final 5 minutes, and we're back on even terms.
Oh, baby. And a timeout has been called by the Stony Creek Sabres.
And you hear another go white from the Burlington bench. I think that was Avery Holmes that time who lets one out as Burlington has stormed back once more.
And a hug for the Manis twins as Kevin Greco gets his team. Look at them all huddled up together on the bench.
And how about the Manis twins? What a great addition they've been to this Barracudas team this season.
Fantastic. 100 points in the regular season for Sarah Manis, the most by a rookie ever in the U22 or the PWHL former. And, of course, Kate Manis as well. Battled injury a little bit, but has been instrumental in both these tournaments. And a massive goal from the defender to tie this game up. And we have 4.5 minutes of a new game here. Tiller across to Carter and deflected up the far side. Burr out to center, skating onto it, and Zavino and dumps it in. Kate Manis on it, up that far side, but picked off, blocked by Manis as the shot came. Allen behind the net, flipped up the near side wall, and it comes out to center. Murdoch racing after it, but Chelsea Tiller got there first. And now it's across for Carter. Over the center line and dumps it in. Mooney leaving it for Allen. It handcuffed her a little bit, but she was able to get it out. And it's now out to center. Van Netten fires it right back in again. Callista Song quickly across for Flores and now for Peakenhagen, who tried to drag it with her, but Chard was all over her. Now in this near corner, Flores works it to the line. Song for Flores and return to Song. Long shot kicked out by Bach and goes to the far side. Chaffee pinched in to keep it going. Still loose in that far corner. It's Flores now. Tried to drop it to the line, but Chaffee was going the other way, and Burlington has to retreat to the center ice area. Bouncing puck goes by Peakenhagen, and the pass just couldn't quite connect with Holmes, but she reached back for it. Now it's Chaffee with some open space as Burlington goes for a change. Chaffee taking it in deep, slamming on the brakes and waiting for help. Comes up the near wall for Ann Zavino, and a cross-ice pass for Burr as she settles it down, and it is bumped off the puck by Holmes. Avery Holmes trying to work with a bit of speed and space. Couldn't quite get it ahead though. Rolling puck in neutral ice, dropped back by Peters to Allen. Across for Kate Manis. At the blue line, Burr throws it to the open side out of the reach of Ann Zavino. Allen over to Kate Manis. Top line coming out again for Burlington. There's Murdoch with it on the receipt of the pass. Murdoch in the far corner, wrapped it round back of the net, held up and taken down by Tiller. But Burlington still got possession in this offensive zone. Still on the near wall. Manis comes in to try and dig it out. Stony Creek able to come out with it. And Zavino out to center. And Zavino watched by Kate Manis. Poked away from her by Sarah Manis. Humphrey up the boards and out to center. Chelsea Tiller dumps it in. Humphrey banks it off the boards, and it gets out and down the ice. Van Netten returned to her by Kletke, and out to center now. Tipped in by Chard. Chaffee rung it up that far wall, deflected to the line, but not out by Peters. In the far corner again, Chaffee trying to get her stick free as she kicked it, and it's over on the short side now. Allen and Markakis now with Peters. This is Allen. Peters deflects it out to center. Markakis going after it, trying to beat out Van Netten. She does, and Markakis has it in that far corner. Pryor going to the net. Here's Sarah Manis. Big glove save made by Bach.
Well, the patience from Ellie Markakis in the corner there to wait for the play to develop. The Sabres get drawn to the front of the net where TJ Flores, I believe, was waiting, and Sarah Manis coming off the bench finds room in the high slot and can skate downhill into that shot, but can't beat the glove hand.
Less than a minute to go in this third period. Manis won the draw, back to Kate. Long shot, oh, and that almost snuck under the pad of Bach. He was able to just squeeze it to the ice enough and hang on.
You could hear a gasp from the crowd here as that one almost snuck through everybody. Locked onto this game and on the edge of their seats for a thrilling conclusion.
Another face-off win for Sarah to Kate. Bobbled the play, but was able to get it in deep. Manis digs it out for Kate at the line. Across for Song. Tried to float that on, it was blocked. Murdoch was tied up. And in this near corner, Murdoch wrapped up and taken to the ice. And again, no call. As it's sent behind the net, Murdoch trying to take it away from Tiller. Takes a funny bounce off the corner. Here goes Manis to the net, off the crossbar, and out of play with 9.2 seconds left.
Wow, Sarah Manis, a great move to get to the net and rings iron. And that would have been with 9 seconds left, probably all she wrote, but we come out to center and we remain locked at fours.
Face off outside the Stony Creek zone. Shoveled ahead by the Sabres. Kate Manis. Far side Markakis deflected it ahead. And we will go to overtime.
So it's, I believe, 10 minutes of overtime. I don't think we get a flood. So
no, we do not get a flood. 10 minutes of overtime. And our cameraman Matthew was worried about how much we were talking about overtime before this game started, and here we are now. But again, Burlington battling back. They have not held a lead in this game, but managed to claw back and tie it up once more.
Well, and they'll try to flip the script on their last overtime game, which was last weekend against Barrie, where they pulled off that 4-1 comeback, but fell in the extra frame. Now, 1 goal to put yourself in the gold medal game.
Well, and you got to be careful in front of these benches, right? That's what happened on that overtime goal last weekend. Allen lost the puck in the snow as she was skating backwards, and quickly the other way, Barrie scored the overtime winner. So strong on the puck with your sticks, and skating through that snow, I think, is going to be the key for the Burlington Barracudas in this one. It is 5-on-5, and because the top line was out there to end the period at least, or for about 9 seconds, it's this second line getting the start in overtime.
Well, and you saw before, Ellie Markakis with a hug for Charlotte Peakenhagen and TJ Flores, just trying to calm them down and get them ready for crucial 10 minutes.
And that was out and down the ice, and Peakenhagen lost an edge behind the net. And it's Flores able to keep that alive, though, on the near side. Peakenhagen tried to send it in front, and it was cut off by Carter. Out at center now. Chaffee across for Kate Manis. Tried to hit Markakis with a quick pass. And it's Anzavino back the other way, disrupted by Murdoch. Sarah Manis ahead for Murdoch. Pryor going with her. Claire Murdoch, high slot, deflects wide. Bouncing puck into the far corner. Pryor pins it up on that wall. Murdoch trying to dig it out. She does. Gave it off to Sarah Manis. Now for Callista Song. Song, long shot. Oh, bounced just wide. Murdoch banked it to the line again. Song across for Allen. Her shot. Trying to find some open space. Sarah Manis now. Dropped it for Song again. Another long shot. Doesn't get through this time. Pryor trying to wrap it in front, but she's tied up. On it in the area behind the net. Manis digs it out. Trying to find Allen. She scores! Mackenzie Allen wins it in overtime for the Burlington Barracudas, and they will improve their medal color from last season as they go for gold tomorrow at noon.
Mackenzie Allen arriving with her first of the tournament. She sneaks down from the blue line, finds a soft spot on the back door, and Sarah Manis finds her a perfect pass on the tape. Allen redirects it to the back of the net, and Burlington will go for gold.
The comeback kids do it again. Unbelievable. This team has fought and clawed to get this far after, as I tweeted, a tumultuous weekend last weekend in the championships. Wins it in overtime, and a valiant effort from the Stony Creek Sabres, Jaden.
Well, the Sabres, what a great game they played. Tara Bach made some huge stops. Really felt like the Barracudas weren't going to be able to get enough past her, but it's the hard work and just not giving up from these Barracudas that they've displayed all tournament and last weekend as well. You can never count the Cudas out.
No, you cannot. 16 shots in the third period for Burlington. They are the best third period and now overtime team, I would say, in this tournament, as TJ Flores pumps up the crowd as the Burlington Barracudas head to the dressing room, going for gold tomorrow at noon. That is when we will see you here at Scotiabank Pond and on this YouTube channel. We'll thank the sponsors one last time tonight. BDO Canada, Skids Away, Pallet Sales and Recycling Solutions, Canadian Cutting and Coring, and J-Man Farms. Jaden will have the call tomorrow. I'll be supporting him there, and that is where we'll see you at noon against whoever wins the other semifinal.